Wake up, buy here, pay here people. It's a beautiful day. Go grab yourself another cup of joe and say hello to Jim and Michelle Rhodes on the Buy Here, Pay Here morning show. Take it away, you two.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello.
So glad to see you.
Greetings from Clearwater, Florida.
We're home.
We're
Yay!
back to Florida after a quick run to Arizona, a short stop in Miami.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Miami was interesting. We decided to stay the night in Miami. That's where we ended up flying out since it was Halloween, and you think, Miami, Halloween, there's going to be just a lot of fun people watching to happen down there. And so we went downtown and parked ourselves at an outdoor establishment, and I was so disappointed. It was like normal people everywhere.
Like people walking through from the Midwest in normal everyday clothes. It was like,
I know. I was like, I could have gone to Walmart and gotten a much better show. Jeez.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun though.
We did get stopped by Sarasota on the way back and see our friends.
Yeah, we did.
The
We were able to come in and see their great setup out there, and
Jacob
really now we did tell Jacob, those of you who are familiar with Jacob, and pronounce his name again, Clementowski, really fantastic story about how he started. And we told him that we were going to do a recording while we're at the Super Forum with him, and he was just so unsure, and so we said, we're going to record it, and he's like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, so he's got a wonderful story. His story involves his family immigrated into the U.S. and he started from nothing, like just get his dealership started. So
and his son Boris is working with him. Mm-hmm. Boris is over sales, and Jacob's over purchasing and recon, and I'll get everything ready for the front line. It was a great visit though. Yeah. Got eaten alive with mosquitoes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Welcome back to Florida.
Right.
Yeah. What do we got?
Well, we have our distinguished guest, Scott Allen from Texas. He's waiting in the wings, the current president of NIADA. So he's held many leadership roles at the state level and now national level. And so we're just thrilled to have him, and he's so widely respected across the industry. He's like the consummate gentleman, and so it's no accident that we've invited him to join us on a White Hat Wednesday, because we know he's certainly the epitome of the white hat dealer out there, taking care of customers and certainly showing leadership in the industry as well.
I before we bring him on, I just wanted to make a mention, and I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but I kind of am. Jim and I had the opportunity to be at TIADA this year, put on a fantastic conference. And we were invited kind of at the last minute to attend the awards banquet. And just such a fine group of dealers. I was so wholly impressed. And at that dinner, we were able to, they gave Scott the award of lifetime. It was lifetime.
No, it was a Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Sorry, Hall of Fame, and played this beautiful video that kind of talked about his past, and that was such a wonderful experience to be able to be there and to experience that, and experience too the whole state, the organization, the camaraderie, and it's just really, really, really an impressive group of men.
Yeah,
and
I felt really privileged to be part of that evening, and to kind of get the inside, meet all those great people, and to see all the kind of incredible work that happens at the state level. Texas, has got a strong organization, and they just really do an incredible job fundraising and all kinds of things.
All right,
let's bring him in.
All right. Good morning.
There he is, Mr. Scott Allen. Thanks for joining us, Scott.
Thank you. Good morning, Jim, and good morning, Michelle, and good morning to your viewers.
Yeah, there's 4 of them across the country. So
well, it's a good thing you don't give your host the count as well.
We went out and recruited 2 more yesterday. So we're up to 4. So.
It's yeah, we have a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it's been good. It was good to spend some time with you briefly in Arizona, and didn't get to spend any time with Mr. Voltman. Saw Bob there, but didn't get to chat with him. But glad to see you there. And of course, Michelle and I broadcasted 2 sessions live from that event. That's kind of a new thing for us, and everybody's agreed. And we're broadcasting with Amanda Sanchez live at the Super Forum next week. So
Awesome.
Yeah. And we've got you. We have like a list of things we wanted to be able to chat with you about. And first off is plug for Super Forum.
Yep.
Go.
Well, I mean, one of the greatest events I think that NIADA puts on is the Buy Here, Pay Here Super Forum. And of course, it is powered by NIADA. So the Godfather, Ken Shilson, is always one of our featured guests there to give you the latest updates on the industry benchmarks, all the latest stats, and his insight and views on what he sees coming down the pipe in the future, and help us get adjusted for what's coming and keep us on top of things. So, I mean, there's a myriad of things that are going to be going on. Of course, we're going to be covering all the basic collections and underwriting. There's going to be a finance fair. There's going to be panels. We have over 25 dealers who are actually going to be participating in the education sessions. We've got industry partners. Some of our panels will be made up of a mix of both. So you can get kind of perspective from both sides, the technologies that can be used and how they're being used on the ground by the dealers during those sessions. And I think one of the most important things that we've added this year is on the very first day, we have 4 workshops planned, which are actually 4 hours long. Of course, you're going to get some breaks in between, but they're extensive deep dives into 3 different things that we think are extremely important right now. And one of them, of course, is the FTC guideline rules and how to implement that into your dealership. As you all know, my home state, TIADA, has put out a great training program that's available online that takes about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes for the qualified individual, and then maybe less than an hour for the rest of your employees to get a really good snapshot of what needs to be done to comply with that rule. And then in Austin at the Buy Here, Pay Here Super Forum, we'll be taking a deep dive into that process. And we're hopeful with templates, and we encourage, in fact, we actually ask you please to bring your laptops into this session because when you walk away at the end of that 4 hour, you should have somewhere between 90, close to 95% of your policy put together and ready to implement when you leave there. So, and then we also have we're going to have Ben, Bill, and Ed doing the Buy Here, Pay Here, covering the business workshop from top to bottom. We've had a great response to that one. We already have 95 dealers that have signed up to participate in that particular. Isn't that awesome? That really is. And so it's going to be an absolutely great event. Again, it's centered around the Buy Here, Pay Here dealer, and it's there to help us grow, network, and become much better dealers.
Yeah, so we had the opportunity we had a conversation early on with Bill about the Super Forum and about how it was going to be different. And we were like, oh, well, this is really cool. It's kind of refreshing. And then we had both Bill and Janet Statterman on a couple weeks ago. That's where we saw Ben on a stick.
Right. The slender version.
And, right. I just have to say, I'm pretty new to the Buy Here, Pay Here world, married in, those of you who are not familiar. And I really, really like this format. It's pretty impactful what it is that has been put together. And so it was kind of fun to talk to Janet and Bill about, how that whole idea came about. And I hear just the when we're talking to different dealers and all about that there's a really neat buzz. There's a really neat energy behind this conference that's coming up, and it's really going to be something very different than what we've seen in the past. And I believe there are still tickets available. The hotel is sold out. So if there are hotels in the area that you can go and stay at.
So you can do like Michelle and I will be doing, standing outside the window, looking in the windows. We'll be,
we were a little late getting our hotel booked, but hey, it'll work. We'll stick around until we normally go to bed. Most of our vendor friends are out having fun. And by 10 o'clock, we're like, yeah, well, it's about our bedtime. So we'll see y'all later. Anyway, but, yeah, we it's still open. Enrollment is still open, and there's really, like you said, a lot of great content, especially that first day where there's some pretty deep dives and learning opportunities. I think it's just fantastic.
And I just think it might get lost. I think we're fortunate to have such a wonderful event aimed at the buy here, pay here space.
Amen.
Like obviously it's one of the challenges NIADA would have, having both, independent retail dealers and buy here, pay here. So having this event focused on buy here, pay here lets us really get in there and talk specifically about our kind of shop. And I don't want to miss the chance to circle back and say, I'm glad to hear you call Ken Shilson the Godfather, because I always want to call him that. I've never heard anybody actually say it. So now it's out there on the worldwide interweb. So now I know I can safely say it. So he's done so much.
The Godfather to me. Absolutely.
Yeah. Which also, Michelle and I said before you joined, we felt really privileged to be included in the banquet at TIADA this year when all the awards were given. And, I looked back at your history and saw that, in the bio, it says you were 2010 TIADA Quality Dealer, 2011 National Quality Dealer of the Year. And Michelle and I feel really fortunate to be there to see you get inducted into the TIADA Hall of Fame. That was such an incredible thing to get to see your experience, and your acceptance speech on that was beautiful. I wish we could find it online. I wanted to share that, but yeah, it was great to be there.
Yeah, I mean, that was just an absolutely great experience for me as well. And Jeff Martin, as you know, did such a great job in keeping that a secret. I think everybody in my family knew about it. They prepared for it for months in advance. I had no idea that was coming. They had flown. They brought in a lot of my family members there for the event that snuck in right there at the end. As the award was being presented, and it was very emotional for me. And as you guys know, I mean, TIADA is my roots. I mean, that's where I cut my teeth really in this industry and began to thrive when I became a member there. And that's just propelled me on to NIADA, where I am today. And now I try to do my best to share that and my experiences with every buy here, pay here dealer in the country as much as I can.
We see that. I was also glad to be there to see, I think Mike Dunnigan received Lifetime Achievement Award. Was that his presentation, I think? And I'm somebody who benefited from all the work that he's done over the years, even, as a dealer outside the state of Texas at times. And so, what a champion he's been for the industry.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, Mike was one of the first people that I was introduced to through TIADA and his sessions on compliance and everything buy here, pay here, and how to run your operations efficiently, effectively, and legally. He is basically a pioneer when it comes to that. Really, no one was doing anything like what Michael did when he came into this space and specialized for the independent dealer. And I think that goes back as many as 35 years or more, even longer than I've been in this business. And so he has been such a tremendous asset to the buy here, pay here dealers and the dealers in Texas, no question.
Yeah, I forgot to mention to you before you got on the broadcast that I don't know if you're seeing the comments along the side. We got some hellos out there from Pennsylvania. We got Texas. Let's see. We got, of course, we got Shelley. There's Bill Elizondo over there saying good morning. There's a hello from Corpus Christi, which I'm going to guess is GR Moore. So good morning, GR. Even if that's not you, if it's not GR, tell us who you are. We can't see. We see Facebook user on our side.
I know that's like some of these. So the people that are veterans to the show know that there's like a little thing you have to click to say who you are, because they like to keep you private if you want to stay private. So,
this whole morning show format has been really fun for Michelle and myself to be able to, get out there and talk Buy Here, Pay Here. And I've jokingly told people that, Michelle and I are going to be up drinking coffee and talking Buy Here, Pay Here anyway. So this whole morning show has just been a way to, share the conversation. So we're glad to have you be a part of it this morning.
Well, today is actually White Hat Wednesday, though. We've had the banner up there for quite a while, and we've talked about the awards, and we've talked about the Super Forum, but today is about talking about White Hat Way principles and White Hat Way dealers. And so it really, really is a privilege to have you here today with us, Scott. So because, especially as we were watching that video from the Lifetime Achievement and all the different things, it's like you seem to have an operation that
he embodies much of what we talk about with the White Hat Wednesday. And you might just share a little bit about your perspective on customer service, and if you were advising a new dealer getting in the business, what would be some of your top tips about taking care of customers?
Well, first of all, I think you just hit on what's probably one of the most important things about the Buy Here, Pay Here industry, and that is, we're not anything without our customers. And I think that one of the things that I learned very early on is that our customers are really no different than any other customers when it comes to buying a vehicle. It means the same to them as it does to anyone. They just have some credit challenges that have made it more difficult. We all know and understand too that their car is something that not only brings you freedom, but it allows you to pursue your dreams. And every single one of our customers have those dreams. They all want to do something to improve their life, and they should be treated just exactly the same as an 800 score customer as well. When they walk in the door, they should feel wanted, appreciated. And I think that really is the key to a successful Buy Here, Pay Here business, is treating your customers as if they were family. And that's, it's not my slogan. I may have probably stole it. I've stolen lots of slogans over the years.
That's okay.
Networking with other folks. But, at Autoland, we feel like we're small enough to treat you like family, but yet we're big enough to take care of all your needs. And that's kind of the way we approach it every day. And our consumers need to feel like they're valued, that they're a part of the Autoland family when they come in every day. And as another one of my dealer friends told me many years ago, actually, I heard him telling it to a legislator at the Capitol in Texas, maybe 20 or 25 years ago. His name was Michael Thompson with MCMC. And he was explaining to a legislator that not our customers' relationships is a little bit different than most franchises and others, because after we sell that car and we send them down that river of life in the boat, like a franchise dealer is, the difference between them and us is that we actually get into the boat and we row with them for 18 months.
I love that.
24 months, 36 months, however long the term is, to help them cross the finish line. And it's imperative to us and our businesses, to treat those customers with the ultimate respect that they actually deserve. And so
we may have to steal that analogy. I like that a lot.
I steal a lot of things from other folks, but they always say that if you do enough of it, then it's not plagiarism, it's research.
Right. Yeah.
That's true.
And now it's broadcasting. So
that's right now.
We just told YouTube and LinkedIn
and all of the people in Facebook
so
land.
No, that is a great analogy. I love that, because it is part of what we know is different. We step in there and we're part of it. I'm going to guess, Scott, you're somebody who's also had customers be with you for generations.
Oh, absolutely. Not only, generations from, 3 generations to be specific to date. We are actually even now seeing some grandchildren from some of the folks that we did business with 30 years ago. It is generational, and repeat business and referral business, as you know, I think are a real secret and a key to success in buy here, pay here. And so that's why treating the customer the way that you would want to be treated is so important, and it allows you to build that customer base over many years. And I think that's really a key to success.
Yeah. And I would say, one of the things we have observed in travels is that, and I know you're in Haltom City, Texas, just on the edge of Fort Worth, right? And so you've got a well-populated area, good-sized customer base to be able to sell to and support. But we see in smaller markets, that this becomes even more important. And you just have confirmed that it's basically important regardless of market size. But we just see that these dealers who are in small and medium-sized markets, that repeat business is really critical in their survival in a way. So, we just have a limited number of people to sell to within a reasonable radius. And that just becomes even more important. And we just think it's good business anyway,
I agree completely, Jim. And I think it does translate from small town to big town, because in the big town arena, there's a lot of competition. So you have to stand out and be different and differentiate yourself from your competition. And that's the way you do it too.
Yeah. And that's how we build business, by keeping the customers that we earn today and keeping the customers from yesterday. Right. And so that's how we grow.
That's how we build. That's right.
Yeah. So back to the Super Forum, I think we are really excited about the agenda. We know that's going to be really important education for folks. And Michelle and I are out there all the time trying to spread the word to folks who may not have been introduced to this whole state association, national association opportunity. And one of the things we talk about, and what we do is that we just say, look, if you write a check to your state association, it did nothing more than lobbying on your behalf, then that alone would be an excellent value. But there's so many more things, and you're in a better position to just say than we are, is all the other benefits that you see and that you think new dealers would see from joining their association.
Well, I mean, there's a myriad of things. Advocacy is one of those things, because as we know, we're always under the watchful eye of consumer protection agencies. There's always that possibility of stepping over those bounds. So I think that's a big part of it. The other part is education and sharing the ideas and the successes and the things that have made us successful with other dealers, and so the education part of it is a major portion of what I think any state or national association should be involved in. We do that, of course, at the national level. Through our 20 groups, through our conventions, through workshops and video conferences, whatever we can do to educate our dealers. And then when you're in person, some of the greatest ideas and some of the greatest help that I've received is from the networking possibilities of sharing what you do with other dealers and finding out how similar we are all across the country. And what I found, whether you're in competing markets or not, I found the buy here, pay here dealer to be very forthright, very forthcoming with what works for them and what doesn't work for them. And so I think that, some of that networking has been so valuable to me over the years as well.
I noticed that you, one of the quotes from the Hall of Fame is, I don't belong to back then, I don't belong to a 20 group. I belong to 1,000 group. I have over 1,000 dealers in my group, and it's called TIADA. And I have to say, it's one of the things I've been so impressed with going to the different conferences are the conversations that are happening at lunch, the conversations that are happening in the hallway, just the conversations that are happening between these seasoned dealers. And, it's that whole, there really is such a beautiful level of camaraderie, and it's not about competition. And when you come to the events like that, it's everyone sharing their best practices. And I just love it. It's just really, everyone's on the same team.
Michelle, you touched on one of my absolute favorite parts of the Buy Here, Pay Here Super Forum, and it comes near the end, and it's called the roundtable discussions. Where you walk into a room of round tables where there are 10 or 15 chairs, how many they can get around a table. There are topics that are pinned on each table whether it comes to collections or hiring practices, retaining employees, insurance, CPI, whatever it is, a myriad of topics. And you get to pick which one you think you want a little bit more information in. You sit at that table with 8 or 10 other dealers who are interested in that same topic. And it's just an open discussion of sharing of how we do those things and how it works best for us. It's my absolute favorite. It's where I have made most of my friends. It becomes like coming to these conventions now is like a reunion for some, because I don't get to see these folks sometimes face to face, except for maybe once or 2 or 3 times a year. So it's a big reunion, and the sharing that goes on around those tables is just amazing. And everybody just comes right out with exactly the way they do things. And everyone shares their experiences. And it's just, it's my favorite, one of my absolute favorite parts of the Buy Here, Pay Here Forum.
That is really rich. And kind of in that same theme, I don't want to let you get away without talking about something that, obviously we're all out there trying to mentor people that are new to the space. And I'm curious to know, with your years of experience, and you've witnessed ups and downs and cycles with money and inventory and this and that. We've obviously seen an unprecedented spike or sudden spike in used car prices, and dealers are out there trying to adjust. So I wonder what your perspective has been on how dealers should adjust pricing, or what would be your recommendation, your perspective on how to what have you done with pricing and payments and term, in this period of adjustment?
Yeah. So that's a really, really good question. And, I think that there are a lot of different models out there for to be successful, and they're not always the same. In my particular case, inventory has been very difficult to get, and we've had to pay much, much more for some of the cars that we typically would to still stay in our model. And I think for me, I think that's what you have to remember the most is you have to still be who you are. And which means that your model, if it's a good model and been a successful model, I don't think you should change a lot of the things. For me, I actually did go to a little bit older car with a little bit higher miles, but I offset that by making sure that I still have to go out and see these vehicles and touch these vehicles. I do buy cars online, just as many of you do. I have to take advantage of that technology. But whenever possible, I'm still out looking at these cars, put my hands on these cars. And a lot of times now, because it gets so hot in the summertime here, I've learned that I can come back to my dealership and bid on them from my desktop, which is wonderful. But I think that, I did extend some terms. I think most importantly, it was working with each individual customer on an individual basis based on their situations, where we extended the terms and in some cases put payments out for them, let them skip payments in some instances if they were good customers. But I did not, in my particular case, change my model too much. Other than I did go to a little bit older and higher miler vehicle, and I have noticed that I'm getting back down to the model that I have been at for so many years. That the prices have come down just a little bit at the auctions. Inventory is still difficult to get, but we got to remember that our customers struggle much as anybody, and they're living from week to week or biweekly to biweekly, from paycheck to paycheck. And, the car is so important to their livelihood that we have to keep them in them. And so we have to do whatever we can do to keep our customers in their cars and to keep them productive citizens. So in my particular case, you also use technologies as you can. You leverage with new technologies as much as you possibly can. Not everyone fits every model. But be sure that when you get the opportunity, if you come to a Buy Here, Pay Here Forum or any other convention for that matter, that you spend time with our industry partners, because they have great tools that can help you efficiently, do your business a little bit more efficiently. Sometimes they can save you money, which is always very important. and most importantly, time as well. So those are just some of the things. And I would encourage anyone who ever sees me anywhere out and about, or even, I'm easily available. My numbers are out there. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, all those different things. Reach out to me, ask me questions. I'm happy to share with other dealers across the country anytime I get the opportunity.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And I got to say, we've been fortunate to meet a number of the leaders at the state level, and you just got some tremendous leadership, a lot of commitment and, devotion to, this segment. At NIADA, we just see buy here, pay here well represented on the board and the various state, level boards as well. And so you just got a ton of great direction for buy here, pay here. And we just think dealers ought to get involved. I continue to slip in subliminal messages inside the morning show on behalf of the state associations. And so I can't reveal all of them, but yeah, we're trying to get dealers to write that check and be prepared, especially going into 23.
Yeah.
People that are, writing their budgets right now, whatever that 350 or whatever that number looks like in your state, put that in your budget, write that check, and make sure you're supporting your state association, because they're definitely out there supporting you.
Yeah.
No question about it. And you'll get 10 times your money back if you just try to get involved at any level. There's so many ways to get involved with your state associations besides attending the conventions and getting all that great feedback. I mean, every state convention, every state association has committees who work on different facets, including the buy here, pay here industry at the national level. We have what we call the Buy Here, Pay Here Commission, which is made up of at least 12 and sometimes 20 members of the Buy Here, Pay Here community around the country. We meet every month, at least by Zoom, and then we meet in person 2 to 3 times a year to discuss legislative issues, to discuss the changing economic situations. How can we prepare our Buy Here, Pay Here dealers for what's coming down the pipeline? As I heard today, the feds are looking at possible another interest rate hike as even today. And so, the chances for borrowing money is getting much, much tighter and costing more money. And so we've got to find, and the Buy Here, Pay Here Commission, I'm sure, will be discussing what types of forms, what other things can we do to help the Buy Here, Pay Here dealers in their communities to thrive. And so I agree with you 100% that I think that associations do a fantastic job of catering to Buy Here, Pay Here dealers. We will always do that at NIADA as well, but we're not ever going to forget about our retail dealers and our subprime dealers either, because this is a great wide industry and we can all benefit from coming together and working together.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's always important to get educated. One could make the case that now is even more important with all the legislation around the corner and this changing environment for Buy Here, Pay Here. It's going to be a really important time. So if you haven't booked your flight, get yourself registered for the BHPH Super Forum. Hop on a plane. If you need any tips on where to find good barbecue or queso or even a
smoked old fashioned,
maybe a cold beer, we can, Michelle and I might be able to give you some tips.
We spent about a month or so, year or so ago in Austin, and really great,
wonderful area. So yeah, Austin, Texas is a fun place to hang out anyway. So yeah, we hope to see many of you there, and we will be set up with our microphones there, and hope we'll be able to spend some more time with you there, Scott.
We love that.
Oh, I would absolutely love that. And I would do the same. I would want to encourage anyone watching the show or any Buy Here, Pay Here dealers out there. You can walk up to the registration desk and register for the conference, even all the way up to the last minute or even during the conference. I would suggest that you get there early so that you can attend one of those workshops because I think they're going to be fantastic. We have well over 300 registrants for the conference so far. I know that at least 200 and well over 200 of those are going to be dealers and dealer principals there at the conference, and we're hoping to get well over 300 of those there to the conference before we start to kick it off. So
Well, I'm looking forward to the reunion part too. And it's fun to sit back and watch all these men just hugging and, talking about the things and and having the conversations and being able to be.
We occasionally have a laugh too.
We do occasionally have.
Yeah.
And just before we let go, I love the analogy, the boat analogy, and just want to, you as the president of NIADA, want you to know that Jim and I, we are more than happy to get in the boat and help row with what it is that NIADA is doing, and with education, with being able to drive membership, any of those kind of things. So, if there's anything that we can do to help you, or any of the people out there that are listening that are part of their state or that are the state organizations, just let us know. We are here to help any way we possibly can, because, we believe not only does it help to have extra rowers in a boat, but all ships rise when people are better educated and have better opportunity.
And I think that's our goal, Michelle. And I appreciate you saying that. And I see that in what you guys are doing. And again, I'm so thrilled, and I'm excited to have been a part of this experience today. And if I didn't scare anybody or anything, I would love for you to invite me back sometime.
We would love to have you back. Thank you so much.
Times.
Really appreciate you joining us today. And we're going to go ahead and wrap up. I just want to just one quick plug. If you haven't done if you're not coming to the conference and you haven't done your safeguards training, Texas has put on a really great program. It can be done online. It can be done at your own time. It's very cost effective. And we just really encourage anyone who has not done. And yes, even though Texas created the education, it is for every single dealer in the U.S.
And I'm afraid if people don't do it, they're going to be in trouble with the FTC and Michelle. It seems like,
you don't want to see me mad.
Yeah. And I guess the scariest thing about that too is the enforcement part of that rule is not really going to come down from the FTC. It's going to be by plaintiff lawyers. So when you hear that word, make sure you're compliant and take that TIADA course. I did. It was a great platform, and it will work anywhere in the country. So I would encourage everyone to do that. In fact, I would encourage you, if you're coming to the conference, to take that before you get there, and then we'll do our deep dive when we get there.
Very good.
Fantastic.
We will let you get on to your work.
Thank you again.
And we will see you in Austin, along with all of our other listeners and viewers. We hope to see you there as well.
Thank you so much for having me. And I will see you guys there.
All right. Have a great Wednesday, everybody, and we will see you on Friday.
Thank you. Bye-bye.